Hi, Today All Day. We have a great show for you on this Thursday morning. Let's kick it off with pop star Carson breaks down all the latest celebrity headlines. Look inside how Ryan Reynolds celebrated Blake Lively's birthday. Check it out.
Celeb Ryan Reynolds. He's been married to fellow actor Blake Lively for nearly 9 years. And like many husbands, he marks her birthday on Instagram. Of course, unlike many of us, he usually does it with very unflattering pictures of Blake. There's one. Her birthday's the 25th. He posted that one back in 2019. Well, this year, Reynolds marked her special day by not marking it at all. Instead, he reposted a TikTok made by none other than Mariah Carey with the caption, "My favorite thing that's ever happened on August 25th. Modern Family star Eric Stonestreet, he made us laugh for 11 seasons as Cam on the hit sitcom, recently shared some very exciting news with his over 2 million Instagram followers that he's engaged. Stonestreet's sharing this picture with his fiancée, Lindsay Schweitzer. The caption, she said she'd have her people call my people. That's funny. That's of course, the love and comments rolled in with tons of people sending their congratulations. But the internet being the place that it is, there were some who questioned the couple's age difference. Stonestreet responded to this cleverly, photoshopping an image of himself and Lindsay, writing, "Apparently a lot of people think I look too old as a 49-year-old man to be engaged to my almost 42-year-old fiancé." Adding, "Look, she can't help that she looks so great at 42, and I can't help it. I apparently look like her granddad. So I fixed it for everyone." Congratulations to both of them. And finally, Reese Witherspoon, a doting mom of 3, Ava, Deacon, Tennessee. She loves her kids, frequently posts photos and videos with them on social media. However, her latest post does not feature any of them at all because the school year has started. Reese captioning this video, "When the kids go back to school and you have the house to yourself."
Lots of parents.
That is your pop star.
Craig, can you give us the morning boost?
We're going with a themed boost this morning because, again, as we mentioned, today is National Dog Day. It's meant to raise awareness of all the wonderful dogs waiting to be rescued and also a day to celebrate how much dogs enrich our lives. So let's salute Bolt. This is Bolt, a Siberian Husky that was just a puppy when his military mom went overseas. 9 months later, check out Bolt's reaction when his owner came home to Houston.
Okay. I missed you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's U.S. Army Sergeant Jasmine Delgado. She was worried that Bolt would not recognize her. Sergeant Delgado was wrong. That wagging tail shows that she had nothing to worry about.
Bolt was a puppy when she left.
Yeah.
And he remembered her. That's amazing.
Welcome back. On the third hour, we are celebrating International Dog Day with some expert advice. We sit down with a leading expert in the vet field to answer your biggest dog safety questions, and the answers may make you stop and pause in your tracks. Check it out.
This morning, we are celebrating International Dog Day with some expert advice.
It's been a big year for pets with adoption numbers skyrocketing. That's led to a lot of questions.
Here with answers, Dr. Brett Levitsky, the Chief Medical Officer at Veterinary Emergency Referral Group in Brooklyn. Dr. Levitsky, good to see you.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, so we've asked our viewers to send in their video questions. So we want to start with Neve and her dog, Archie, and here's her question.
How much exercise should my dog get on a hot day?
So we know temperatures are at highs all across the country. I mean, it is brutally hot. So what do you tell Neve, Dr. Levitsky?
So this is an excellent question, and I'm really glad that she asked it, especially for Archie. Dogs need exercise. We know that. They love to go outside and play. But as the temperatures rise, we need to decrease the length and intensity of their activity. If not, we run into the risk of heat stroke. That means in the heat of the day, you want to avoid going out and running and jumping and playing. Go for your longer walks in the morning and the evening when it's a little bit cooler. If you can find a patch of grass to run around on, that's better. And if you can find some shade, that's even better. In the city here, it's a little bit difficult because we have a lot of pavement. If you have to take your dog out, you should limit it to short walks so they can go and do their business and then come back in. They even sell little booties for their feet.
Booties, that's a good idea. Our next question comes from our booker, Stephanie's kids, Jordan and Cameron, who have a 12-week-old puppy, Sammy. Take a look.
We know he's teething, but how can we make him stop biting us?
That's good. Do you have any healthy and safe deterrents from puppy biting?
That is a great question. My brother and his family had gotten a puppy and asked me the same question. So we have to remember that puppies will chew and bite for a couple different reasons. One is that they're teething. So if we can provide a puppy-safe toys, such as this one that Molly had brought in today, that gives them an alternative to chewing on your hands or clothes or your shoes, that would be great. The other reason they chew is that's how they play with their siblings and their mom. But when they get a little rough and they bite a little too hard, their mom or their siblings will let out a high-pitched yelp. So when they get to that point with you, you can do the same. Let out a little yelp or a little high-pitched ow. Also giving them a little timeout when they get too rambunctious. You can stand up, put your hands in your armpits, and just give them a moment to settle down. What you don't want to do is yell at them, because these are natural things that they're doing. And you just want to give them an avenue where they can expend a lot of energy. So if they're getting rambunctious, take them outside to play.
All right. Now, we're coming up on the end of summer. A lot of folks squeezing those last-minute vacations. Our writer, Matt, his wife, Kristen, are heading on their first vacation without their pup, Indy.
We were wondering if she might have more fun at a doggy daycare, or should we find a pet sitter so she can stay home where we know she'll be comfortable?
That's a great question.
That is.
And what about for dog owners and for cat owners as well out there, Doc?
So this really is a great question, and it really is dog dependent. Dogs have different personalities. So if your dog is very social, loves being around other dogs, very energetic, then you should absolutely look for a boarding facility, because then they will get to interact with other dogs. And there are many facilities that have swimming pools and large yards for them to run in. If your dog is a little bit more shy and isn't the life of the party and doesn't like to spend time with other dogs, then perhaps having a pet sitter come in, walk them so they can stay in their own home, in their own environment, that's for the best. The third category that we can't forget about are the dogs that have underlying medical conditions and they require daily medications. You should speak to your veterinarian about possibly boarding at their facility so they can get the care they need. And I certainly didn't forget about our feline friends. Cats can be a little bit more independent. They're not looking to go socialize and party with other cats they don't know. So certainly having a pet sitter that will come in a few times a day, spend some time with them in their own environment where they can play and be fed, that's by far and away their preference.
All right, we have a question. Do we have time to squeeze in one more?
Let's just ask, Doctor, really quickly, folks going back to work, kids going back to school, these pets are so used to folks being around all the time. What do you do?
So you have to disassociate the negative aspect of you leaving. Dogs are pack animals. You're the most important part of their pack. So if you give them something positive and desensitize the negativity of you leaving, for instance, they have puzzle toys that you can put treats in or cream cheese or what have you. If you leave that toy with them as you're leaving, that's a positive that they associate with you leaving. The important thing is when you come back, you should take that toy away so they know that that's very special for when you leave the house. So it takes away some...
That might be one of the best tips I've heard.
In fact, you could probably use that with your kids.
Listen, or you could just leave me with some cream cheese. I'll be fine.
There you go. That's a whole nother story. Dr. Levitsky, thank you so much.
Welcome back today on Hoda and Jenna. It's almost Friday, and our favorite duo breaks down all the latest feel-good headlines that will leave you smiling from ear to ear. Check it out.
We want to shout out the folks at La La Land Kind Cafes in Santa Monica and Dallas. So they got a really cool mission.
Okay, their mission is all about spreading kindness by complimenting every single person that walks into their store doors. Every time you walk in,
somebody says something nice?
Yes. They hope that then the customers go out and spread kindness.
It does. You know, when you get a random compliment by someone, like, I like your shoes, and you're walking, you're like, oh, because I was kind of in a little bit of a rush, and now I'm like, oh, thank you.
It makes you
And then
feel
you do.
good.
It's like one person holds the door, then the next person holds the door for the next person. It's like all that stuff happens. So anyway, they also have a drive-by kindness series on TikTok. It's gone viral. So people just literally yell out the window, the car window, to strangers on the street. Nice things. Take a look.
You're so beautiful. Those pants look beautiful on you. Your hair's all good. Your smile is beautiful. You're welcome. I love your sweatshirt. Thank you. And your dog. Oh my gosh. Love you. Love you. I love you. Your smile is beautiful.
just made me well up. It's like the surprise from those strangers of like someone saying something super kind.
I love
you never know when
by
someone's...
the way, you can tell they're in Texas.
Are they?
Well, I think so with that y'all.
But there's a lot of Southern. They could be in Louisiana. Spread the love.
No, I could tell.
But by the way, there is pretty cool love all around, I think, no matter where you are. Okay.
We're going to see it through this show.
Yeah, there's no greater love than the love you have for your kids, and this story is proof. So earlier this year, Donna introduced us to Kim Flanders and her son, Jeffrey. Jeffrey lives with cerebral palsy, and like many parents this past year, Kim did whatever she could to keep her son entertained.
Yeah, in a moment of desperation, Kim reached out for support on social media, and she never expected what would follow from a community of complete strangers. Take a look.
In the Flanders household, it's Pittsburgh Steelers or bust.
Well, I've always been a fan since I was young, and so he's a fan by birth, I guess you would say. He didn't really have a choice.
14-year-old Jeffrey's love of football makes even the difficult days a bit more manageable. Born 15 weeks early at just 1 pound and 7 ounces, Jeffrey is living with cerebral palsy. This past year, Jeffrey has been limited to hobbies inside the house, and that's when Kim got creative.
How did card collecting come up?
Somebody sent him 2 trading cards, and he was looking at them the one day, and we were talking about it, and we thought this would be something good for him to collect. I didn't realize at the time that trading cards were the hottest things, since sliced bread. And I couldn't find any trading cards for like weeks. I went up every day and I'm thinking, where are the trading cards,
Interest in sports trading cards has exploded over the last year. Unable to locate cards in stores, Kim turned to social media for help, where she stumbled upon a company called Midwest Box Breaks.
I posted a picture of Jeffrey. I said that he was a new collector and that, if anyone had any duplicates or doubles that they would be willing to share, that, that would be great. And I thought maybe somebody would say, okay, I've got, a couple of cards, and we might get maybe 2 cards or 5 cards and, would add to his collection. We received well over 200 packages. And the packages were great. They came with notes. Hundreds of people, they wrote us nice little notes to Jeffrey about joining the hobby. It was really awesome.
To my card collector friends, I just came from the mailbox. And you guys are amazing. There are 2 giant boxes of cards and envelopes for my son. And I don't even know you guys.
Have you ever thought about how you would thank them if you were to meet them?
I consider a lot of these people's friends, even though you haven't met them.
Would you like to say hi to some of them?
Yes, we would love that.
Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey. Look at all of these amazing people who were strangers who helped you and gifted you the cards that, Jeff, you now have. Ben, you didn't hesitate for a moment to step in and help out. Tell us why.
You see somebody that really is after the joy of collecting, which was the whole purpose of trading cards. See somebody reach out that, hey, I can't find any cards. It's a no-brainer for all of us. The videos and the pictures and the content, it touched a lot of people and it made people feel great and happy, and some of us were moved to tears.
What was it about this experience that made you so emotional? Heather?
Just asking for help sometimes is a burden on us as parents, all of us to come together in a very difficult time. It's how good the people are really in the world.
Well, we have one more surprise for your family. Do you happen to know Cam Hayward?
Cam Hayward!
Defensive tackle, 5-time captain, 3-time Pro Bowler. Hi, Cam.
How you guys doing?
Hi, Cam. We're a big fan of yours.
Nice. I'm a big fan of yours, Jeff. How you doing, buddy? You guys have a great family, and I love Jeff, and just got to hear a little bit about how he likes to collect different football cards. So just keep up the great work and keep supporting us.
Yes. Thank you so much.
A lot of times I think people get focused on the negative things around them. And I think that this just shows you there is more good around than there is negative. And you have to try to focus on that.
Oh, super sweet. And in the past several months, Jeffrey continued to receive packages, letters, and more cards. After being fully vaccinated, he even got to attend summer camp and had a trip to Orlando.
What an incredible kid. All right. Jeffrey and his family have plans to attend the National Sports Collectors Convention as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers training camp.
How awesome is that?
In his heyday, tennis legend John McEnroe captivated the sports world, both with his talent and larger-than-life persona. He won 7 singles Grand Slams, including 4 U.S. Open titles.
Well, he's also using his well-known voice to ace a very different world. Join us now, Mr. John McEnroe. Johnny Mac, good to see you.
Hey!
I mean, it's great to be seen.
Absolutely.
And considering what's been going on the last
100%.
year and a half, I feel great, Al, and great to see you in person.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
It's good having you here. Yeah, we're coming out of this pandemic, and even though we're still in it, we had those problems last year, but now we've got a whole raft of star players like Venus and Serena Williams, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, all pulling out because of injuries. How's that going to affect, you know, the play itself?
Well, I would say that would be a huge opportunity for lesser-known players, obviously. The players that we've been waiting to step up in the dominant era of Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic, which has been unheard of. These guys have 20 majors each. I thought 7 was good, Al. It stinks. Okay, that's the bottom line. So, and Serena is obviously the greatest of all time, one of the greatest athletes ever, men or women. So, but 40 in tennis, Al, as you may know, is about 70 in the real world. So the fact that they've done as well as they have for so long is amazing, but we had to expect at some point this was going to happen. And the good part for tennis fans is we have something that's very unusual maybe happening. Novak Djokovic is going for the Grand Slam, which means win all 4 of the big ones in 1 year, which hasn't been done since 1969 on the men's side. So this is a big moment for us, and see if some of these younger players can step up and stop them or not.
We'd love to get your take. There are a lot of eyes, obviously, on Naomi Osaka. She's put a lot of attention on mental health and the strain that it takes. And even, you know, during the Olympics, we talked a lot about mental health. What's your take on what some of these young athletes are dealing with?
Why do you think I yelled all the time? You know, it was.
Listen.
It was better than that than crying, in a way. You know, as a guy almost. But as far as Naomi goes, I commend her, and you know, I think what she did was great. The part that I worry about is that there's going to be now extra scrutiny on her instead of less scrutiny.
I said the same thing.
And she's an introverted, shy person to begin with. So all of a sudden, what she thought was a good thing, and most of us did, went from bad to worse at the French Open because all of a sudden they were going to fine her, and she said, fine me, but I'll give it to charity. Great idea. Then these tennis powers that beat said, well, maybe we're going to default her. Bad idea. You know, then she pulled out. Lose for tennis, lose for her. The pressure would mount, it appears. So I worry about that aspect of it because she's the best hardcore player in the world. I mean, if she plays her best, she's going to win this tournament.
Wow, that's coming from you, that means a lot. It really does. Now, what I've always been an admirer of yours about is that you have morphed. Your career has gone from obviously star athlete to a broadcaster to a best-selling author, and now you're doing voiceover work.
Who would have thought?
Mindy Kaling kind of brought you into this.
Yeah, you know, the quick story, I was walking around Fifth Avenue like 30, 40 years ago, and I wore a disguise because I was sort of, people were coming up to me. I said, what would it be like if no one knew me? And it was awesome. And I went into a store, a tapestry store, and they said, I go, how much is that tapestry? You go, you John McEnroe?
No way.
And I go, how did you know? And they go, I recognize your voice. So at about 25, 30, people thought, hey, maybe I could, and myself, I have a sort of somewhat unique voice. Maybe I could use. 30 years later, fast forward, I met Mindy Kaling at a Vanity Fair Oscar party.
What?
We're coming in. I'm going in to take a photo. She's coming out. She goes, oh, my God, I have this idea that you've been a narrator of a show I'm making for Netflix. And I'm like, yeah, right. You know, checks in the mail. You know, Al, you've been around this forever. 9 out of 10 things don't happen, but it actually did happen.
Wow.
And actually, God forbid, I'm the narrator for a young high school girl, Indian American girl, trying to deal with growing up, and I'm sort of like her alter ego or uncle, you know, and I'm thinking, how the hell did I get this? I'm wondering the same thing, but I believe in a weird way it's worked.
And now you got a website with.
Well, Squarespace, we decided to do this sort of mockumentary type thing, have some fun with it. And now that I'm this huge narrating star.
There you go, exactly.
You know, I don't have a social media presence. So this thing with Netflix, Squarespace, never have I ever gotten a 3rd year. So I'm all pumped up because now all of a sudden you can go to a website, John McEnroe. I may even, God forbid, have some type of social media at some stage now.
Look out.
So who knows where it's all headed, right?
That's
so
You'll
great.
come back and talk to us about it?
So great.
I'll be back, what's tomorrow?
Okay, we'll make a date.
We're having a party.
John McEnroe, always great to see you, my friend. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.